You've been a lovely, lovely witness.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for those movie moments that may be looked at as a little overhyped by some portion of the audience.
You wear those shoes and I will wear that dress. Oh, kiss me.
Number 10, the cue cards. Love Actually. To some, the cue card scene from Love Actually is the most romantic film moment of the last 3 decades.
We'll get it. Oh, hi.
To others, it's completely overhyped, and rather than call it super romantic, they would call it super creepy. Remember, it's a guy telling his best friend's wife that he's in love with her, and he does it in a grand way at their house while said best friend is in the living room. There's no denying the bigness of the moment, but it doesn't take more than a second look to appreciate that the romanticness of it is overrated. Although, as far as the scene's ripeness for parody, that can't be overrated. Number 9, Always Loved You, The English Patient. The English Patient won the Academy Award for Best Picture, and the American Film Institute named it the 56th greatest love story of all time.
Love, romantic love, platonic love, filial love. Quite different things, surely.
However, with all its critical and commercial success, there are many, like Elaine Venice, who found the film rather boring. And the scene in which Kristen Scott Thomas tells Ralph Fiennes that she's always loved him reveals just how differently some people react to this film.
You're wearing the thimble.
Of course. You idiot. I always wear it. I've always worn it. I've always loved you.
If you were invested in the movie and the story, then this would surely get the tears flowing, but it could also get the jeers going if you've already struggled to make it that far into the film without, as Elaine does, yelling at the screen.
I can't do this anymore. I can't. It's too long. Quit telling your stupid story about the stupid desert and just die already. Die!
Number 8, Fixer Upper, Frozen. Disney Animation's Frozen was an astounding pop cultural phenomenon, but do you remember that one song the Trolls sang?
What's the issue, dear? Why are you holding back from such a man? Is it the clumpy way he walks?
What?
Or the grumpy way he talks?
If not, it could be because Fixer Upper doesn't hold an icicle to the rest of the movie's soundtrack. The number's endgame is to get Anna and Kristoff together, despite acknowledging the latter's flaws. But shouldn't the singing stop once everyone finds out that Anna is already engaged?
Enough! She is engaged to someone else, okay?
So she's a bit of a fixer-upper.
That's a minor thing.
Potential home-wrecking aside, the whole sequence relies on a forgettable melody that's just as bland and colorless as the creatures performing it. The trolls are interchangeable, devoid of personality, and manage to troublingly declare that people don't really change. In a musical sensation that has almost zero skips, the uninspired and ordinary fixer-upper just doesn't belong.
Everyone's a bit of a fixer-upper. That's what it's all about.
Number 7, Viola's Audition, Shakespeare in Love. Shakespeare in Love made almost $300 million at the box office and received much critical acclaim.
May I begin, sir?
Your name?
Thomas Kent. I would like to do a speech by a writer who commands the heart of every player.
But to many, it will always just be the lesser film that undeservedly won Best Picture over Saving Private Ryan at the Academy Awards. We probably could have mentioned any scene from this movie and slapped the overrated tag on it.
Unless I look on Sylvia in the day, there is no day for me to look upon. She is my essence.
I mean, Viola's Audition is a good moment, and a well-acted scene that sets the story in motion.
Where'd you learn how to do that? Let me see you. Take off your hat.
Are you Master Shakespeare?
Wait there.
But it isn't the US Army landing on Omaha Beach during the invasion of Normandy of World War II. Number 6, Fried Chicken Etiquette, Green Book. Another controversial Best Picture winner, Green Book did make over $300 million feel-good dollars at the box office.
Your name came up more than once. You've impressed several people with your innate ability to handle trouble. And that is why I called and inquired about your availability.
And the fried chicken scene is one of the classic feel-good moments the film spoon-fed us, but not everyone felt so good about it, the scene or the film.
I think this is the best Kentucky Fried Chicken I ever had.
Although director Peter Farrelly consciously tried to avoid it, there are those who criticize the movie for its flagrant perpetuation of the white savior trope with the story of a bigot's redemption. So, as some are laughing at Viggo Mortensen teaching Mahershala Ali about fried chicken, others are cringing.
It just seems so unsanitary.
Who gives a shit? Just relax and enjoy it.
Number 5. The love scene. Avatar. If there's one thing you can say about Avatar, it's that it sure did look good.
That was pretty impressive. I would have been screwed if you hadn't come along.
But despite what fashion magazines have been telling us for decades, looks aren't everything. We also need some substance, and on that front, Avatar fails to provide much.
And you may choose a woman. We have many fine women.
The story itself isn't anything we didn't see in films like Pocahontas and Dances with Wolves. And speaking of no substance, the Jake and Neytiri love scene might be a fan favorite, but this overrated moment is superficial at best, as the characters never truly get to know each other. This version of the played-out, star-crossed lovers trope is as deep as an Oreo-thin cookie, and as believable as anyone who tells you that they can eat just one.
I am with you now, Jake. We are mated for life.
Number 4. Opening scene. Crash. Crash is one of those movies that you either love or you hate.
I think we miss that touch so much that we crash into each other just so we can feel something.
You guys okay?
I think he hit his head.
You either applauded when it won Best Picture at the Academy Awards, or you thought it was one of the biggest miscarriages of justice the movie world has ever seen. Which brings us to the film's opening scene. Crash begins with a car crash, a thought-provoking monologue, and some blatant bigotry that sets the stage for the interconnected stories that will follow.
It's her fault. She did this! My fault.
Ma'am, you really need to wait in your vehicle.
My fault? Stop in middle of street! Mexicans don't know how to drive. She blaked too fast! I blaked too fast? I blaked too fast. I'm sorry, see my Blake light.
Or at least, that's how it was presented by proponents of the film. But really, looking at it now, the scene begins with a too-on-the-nose car crash, a preachy monologue, and stereotypical racial slurs that forgo nuance for an easy audience reaction.
Officer, can you please write down your report how shocked I am to be hit by an Asian driver?
Number 3. The Makeover. She's All That. It's one of the most talked about, emulated, and parodied teen rom-com scenes of the last 30 years.
You really never wear makeup? No, my mom died before I was old enough for this stuff. I'm sorry. It was a long time ago,
Ugly duckling Lainey Boggs gets a makeover and is transformed into the beautiful swan Lainey Boggs. We could get into the whole thing about how the scene perpetuates harmful and superficial ideas.
Gentlemen, may I present the new, not improved, but different, Lainey Boggs.
But putting that aside, even taking the scene at face value, its overratedness can be described in 6 simple words. Lainey was hot before the makeover. The transformation was less ugly duckling to swan, and more pretty swan to swan with her glasses off and her hair done.
You ready?
Yeah.
Number 2. Falling Rose Petals. American Beauty. It's maybe the most famous scene from American Beauty, and an iconic visual that we see in movie clip montages all the time.
I've been waiting for you.
Kevin Spacey's grown-up character fantasizes about the high school-aged Mina Suvari, seeing her lying naked on a bed of rose petals as more fall from above.
It's the weirdest thing. I feel like I've been in a coma for about 20 years, and I'm just now waking up.
Given all the allegations that have come out about Spacey, this scene feels extra creepy. But regardless of who the actor is, the stunning beauty of the scene feels overdone given the age difference between the characters. There's also the plastic bag monologue that's a bit, nay, a lot pretentious.
Sometimes there's so much beauty in the world. I feel like I can't take it.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Mona Lisa Takes the Stand. My Cousin Vinny. Marissa Tomei memorably took home the 1992 Oscar for her role in My Cousin Vinny.
Your Honor, the defense calls as its first witness Ms. Mona Lisa Vito.
Many called it a surprise win, but others called it undeserved. Rumors even developed that suggested Tomei's name had been said by mistake. There was no such error, but she did defeat a lineup of veteran actresses who all appeared more likely to win. Mona Lisa's testimony is certainly a pivotal moment of the movie, and Tomei does a fine job delivering it.
Would you like me to explain?
I would love to hear this.
So would I.
But when you stack this against Miranda Richardson's meltdown and Damage, or Judy Davis's phone call in Husbands and Wives, it doesn't seem to hold up. It may be an award-winning scene, but it's often remembered more for the external controversy than for the monologue itself.
There were only 2 other cars made in America that had positive traction and independent rear suspension and enough power to make these marks. One was the Corvette, which could never be confused with the Buick Skylark.
Did we miss any major overrated scenes? What moments on our list do you think don't deserve the overrated tag? Let us know in the comments.
Honesty is overrated, man. Hey, that's in the Bible, Old Testament.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.